All right,
Everyone.
welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to this session about our upcoming conference. I'm very, very excited about it. We're going to talk about the speakers, the logistics, the money, all the things. And I'm very happy that we have some attendees from last year's conference here as well. And if we have time in the end, I'd love to hear a few words from them on why they attended and why they signed up again. So this whole idea of a conference it was the community's idea. They started kind of poking at me, Belinda, let's have a live event. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even want to leave my house, like much less have this big event. And, but they planted a seed. And then I had attended the International Association of Virtual Assistants Conference. I was a speaker back in 2019. And I saw how they did it and I was like, we could probably do this. And so I leaned into it. A lot of people helped. And I thought, you know what, we can pull this off. We can pull this off. So what I did was I limited it to 30 people because that was my comfort zone, right? So we limited it to 30 people. It sold out. And I have to say, it was so exciting to meet people in person, right? To meet people in person. And this year we're going to, our first conference was in San Antonio, Texas. It was right on the Riverwalk. And this year we're going to be meeting in Spartanburg, South Carolina. We're going to talk about that too. November 8th, 9th, and 10th. All right. All right, so when Greg and I walked, we arrived at the river walk, and we were sitting down and we were having a meal. I looked up and there's this bridge over the river, and I see probably half of these amazing people on the bridge taking selfies and all the things. And I was like, yay, this is really happening. We're here. We're here. So this is a group shot we took at the end, and it was really awesome. It was really awesome. We had an amazing 2 days together, and I got some really good feedback that we've incorporated into this year's event. That's going to make it even more exciting. We're going to have more workshops. We're going to have more hands-on. We're going to have more time to be in the community. Last year, I was just really nervous. And so I filled every single second with talking and I got feedback that we needed a little bit more space. So we're going to do that. So we're going to talk about the details and the timing in a second, but I want you to know that we've expanded the event to, last year it was a half day for VIP, and then it was a full day for everyone. And this year, the feedback I got was everyone wanted a full 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. We also polled the group, the community, about the days of the week. And then we're going to have, for those who are choosing the VIP option, we'll have a reception with cocktails and beverages and hors d'oeuvres on Friday night in a special room together, along with the speakers. Now, as soon as the conference ended on Sunday night, and you guys can vouch for this, everybody started talking about when are we doing it next time? And I was like, holy smokes. Okay. And so I leaned into it, and we picked a date. There was some back and forth. We were originally going to have it in Asheville, and then Tori Eubanks, who is one of our community managers, ambassadors, and also has been a part of this community for a long time. She said, what about my hometown? And I was like, what about your hometown? And so she did some of the initial legwork, and we'll talk about Spartanburg in a minute. But what a lovely place. I've never been there, but I have really jumped in deep on Google Maps. I met the director of development. She's rolling the red carpet out for us, all the things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And this year, we have expanded it to 60 participants. And this conference has really been designed to help you live your best, balanced, happy life as a virtual assistant. And I would like to say it's equal parts deep dive, inspiration, and community building. And the conference is for you if you want to take your business to the next level, if you feel a tug to connect with our community. You'll experience growth by hearing stories, inspiring stories, and actionable stories. And if you're craving a deeper connection, with people who are just like you, that's always the thing that I never think of. And I'm always so surprised because I think about like, what are they going to teach me? What am I going to learn? And in the end, what really softens me up and brings me back is the connections that I make with the people who are there. And also, if you want to network with other powerful men and women who are going to be there and really deepen your relationships. And last of all, a giant hug for me is waiting for you in South Carolina. And this is we had a panel, and it was amazing. And this is, you'll see Carrie and Jen, Leanne, Jennifer Grant, three Jens, and Jenny here with April Pertwee. And then you can see Dana and Lynn and Tori and Michelle, their backs to us in the room. And it was a lot of fun to hear, and very inspiring to hear those stories of these women and how they started their businesses. And it's inspired me to bring even more speakers that you haven't heard of before, and some that are VA Connection friends, to pull together these workshops and keynotes to talk about the best practices in marketing, how to make the most of networking, how to take care of yourself when you're building a business, building self-esteem, mindset shifts, all the things. Because really the theme of this for me is live your best life as a virtual assistant. It goes way beyond talking to clients, way beyond what happens in your office. And most importantly, and this is the thing that I would love Tammy and Jenny and Michelle, who have all, and Frederica and Jane. Yeah, okay, a lot of you guys have been at the conference. I'd love you to talk about, because I heard this over and over. What's really waiting for you in this conference is a newfound belief in yourself, right? A newfound belief by stretching yourself to do what it takes to get there, and it might mean sacrificing something, 100%. I get that. But really leaning into this dream, 100% of wanting a successful business. And, it's kind of like sending a message to the universe, like, no kidding. And when I spoke at the International Association of Virtual Assistants, unfortunately, that no longer exists, but that was the case. The community was just starting out. I had no idea if this was going to work. And I invested. Greg came with me because I was so nervous. I'd never spoken at a conference before. And we invested in flying to San Antonio and, doing all the things. And that was really the first step for this community to take off. So think about what's going to be possible as a result of really getting into action. And we're going to be doing this panel again. I love the expressions. I don't know if the picture is big enough for you to be able to see them, but everybody seems really happy. And yeah, it looks like Jenny was saying so. Jenny, were you saying something that was cracking everybody up? That's what it looks like to me. All right. All right, so let's talk about Spartanburg. Spartanburg is charming. It's known for its walkable downtown. It's filled with dining choices, ranging from, and all kinds of activities. You can go hiking, there's mini golf, there's a paved urban trail that goes throughout the community, and there's also a nature option, Hatcher Gardens. So there really are a lot of things to do. And I know in San Antonio, some of the participants got together and planned all kinds of activities around the conference. And like I said, I spent a lot of time looking at pictures and the maps and the different kinds of shops that are there. And this is such a wonderful place to have our conference, because it just feels manageable, but there's enough to do. And the shopping, I can't wait, because that's something that I definitely am missing where I am now. So this location is it's easily accessible via the Greenville Spartanburg International Airport. It's 19 miles from the airport to downtown, and Amtrak goes right into Spartanburg. So that's an option too. The train, I have to tell you, is a wonderful way to travel. When I first started seeing Greg, I didn't have a car. And so I would take the train from Boston to Connecticut. And you have use of both of your hands. There's no security, right? Oh, you know what I mean? There's no one like weighing your luggage and all that crazy stuff. There's not a lot of waiting. And so definitely give that some thought. I'm going to be driving, and I want to say this now in case I don't say it later. Parking is free. It's included with the hotel, which is a big deal. Parking last year was $25 a night or $50 a day or something. So that is something to actually consider, but we've got that handled. Now, Southern Living this year has named Spartanburg #3 of the South's best cities on the rise, which is pretty cool. All right, so this is the hotel where we're going to be hosting the event. It's a Marriott property. It's part of the AC collection, which is like the next level of fabulousness. And it's right downtown and everything is walkable right there. And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna see what I can do to get outside near that swimming pool. And then this is, if this is not the room we're going to meet, it looks very, very similar to that. Bright and spacious. But any questions so far? Everyone's good? Yeah, Angela.
So what are the dates that we should be thinking about?
So
Like I know the dates of the
Yeah.
thing, but should we stay till the Monday or?
That's a great question, and I was not going to talk about that, so thanks for asking. So we are going to, so the cocktail beverage reception is going to start. I believe I said, I have to look. I believe it's going to start at 5. It will not, if that changes, it will not be earlier, because I understand the constraints people are trying to get there. Right in time for it. So I will look on the webpage and verify that before we get off, but I think that's when it is. And then let me let Sonia in. And the sessions are going to be 9 to 4 on both days. 9 to 4 on both days. So you can spend the night. The hotel is actually, I have to look at this, but the hotel, I believe, is actually cheaper on Sunday night. So they've really gone out of their way, and I'll explain how much the rooms are and how to get them. All right. Okay. All right. So I want to introduce you to some of the speakers. This is April Pertwee. A lot of you know her. She's a friend of the VA Connection. She's been around for a long time. She was a speaker at our first annual conference, and she was my biggest cheerleader and helped so much to pull this off. She is a storytelling specialist. She helps business leaders tell their story on stage, in books, on podcasts, social media. And she brings 25 years of her career in journalism to her work. And she is a best-selling Amazon author of these 3 books. This is one that my story is featured in. You can see I'm on the back right there. So April is the person who's responsible for me learning how to tell my story and learning how to speak from the stage. I've taken several of her classes. I was in a mastermind with her when the VA Connection started in 2019. So I've been to her home. She's going to come here. She's wonderful. She's from Texas. Well, she's actually from North or South Carolina, I believe. Oh no, that's not true. She's from Texas, but she lived in the Carolinas and has the most lovely accent and the biggest hugs available on the planet. She's just, talk about cracking you open. And I had an actual argument with her when she wanted me to tell my story. I told her no, and the F word might have been involved, but I'm not saying that for sure. And she was like, Belinda, you've got to tell your story. People are going to relate to it. I'm like, my story has nothing to do with it. I'm going to help them start their businesses, blah, blah, blah. And she didn't let go of me. She didn't let go, and she really has made a huge difference in our community, and it's awesome. So she is there. She's going to be, and all of these books are #1 Amazon best-selling books. And she is going to be a speaker. She's also going to facilitate a workshop, really inspiring you to bring your authentic self to your business. And she'll be flying in for the conference from Texas. And Jen Lehner, she is also a friend of the VA Connection. She's spoken to our community before. She was my coach, my business coach, when I started the VA Connection. She is the one that helped me build our community, understand how it all works. She was behind the VIP club. She has a VIP club, and and just amazing training. The woman used to whisper in my ear at 11 o'clock at night when we were closing cart the first and second time of closing enrollment for VA school. So she's amazing. So it's funny that a lot of you might not know who she is yet. Without her, we wouldn't be here. And I'm thrilled that she's speaking at the conference. Last year, it was her 30th wedding anniversary, and she was like, sorry, not coming. And she's been focusing so much on AI. She's like, goes crazy over whatever's new. And she's going to talk to us about how virtual assistants can use AI to grow our business and produce better results for our clients. And she's a lot of fun. And she's flying in from Cleveland. Nika Stewart is also a friend of the VA Connection. She has spoken to our community, and she is the one, I took a course from her, and she taught me how to do those short form videos that you see on TikTok and all the places, YouTube. And she is an author as well, a best-selling author. She wrote a book called Actually I Can. She's a cancer thriver, and she just talks about overcoming adversity. She's also a rock star. She actually sings in a band, and she's wonderful. Again, huge heart, a huge heart. And so what she's going to talk about is she's going to talk about her talk is going to be called On Camera Charisma: Secrets to Winning Over Your Audience. And a lot of what happens is we pick up the phone and we want to make a video, and video is such a great way to further your content, like your newsletters. And even though I know that sounds really scary, because I remember that, she's going to talk us through the mindset and how to do it. She taught me how to hold the phone. She taught me, to put the video on first and then to start speaking and to edit it out. Little small things that have made a huge, huge difference. And so she's going to take the frustration out of video, the fear out of video, and she's going to help us build confidence and teach us how to look more relaxed, be more engaging, how to come across more professionally, how to be persuasive, and to use video to get more clients. And a fun fact about her, she's coming from New Jersey, and she doesn't like to fly. And when she said that, when I asked her if she would speak, I was like, okay, I need an idea. And I said, why don't you turn this into a book tour? Why don't you drive down the coast and go to every Barnes and Noble and turn this into an event? So that's her plan. So she's going to drive from New Jersey. I don't even know how many hours that is. A lot. She's going to drive for several days back and forth. And we love her. We love her. A lot of you were on her book team, her book support team, which was great. All right. She also has an online community. I don't remember how many people are in it, but it's quite impressive. Julie Lowe is a new friend. Oh, I'm sorry. Marika Gordon is a new friend. And one day I was talking to Michael Katz, and he said, we were talking about potential speakers, and he said, you are about to owe me big. And I said, all right, what? I'm game, what? And he said, and I'd heard him speak about her before. He said, I'm going to introduce you to the smartest person I know on the planet. And I said, okay. And she was a client of his for over a decade, maybe even 2 decades. And what she did was she built a $2.5 billion money management firm in New York City from scratch. And she did it, and this is a quote from her website. And when I met her, I was a little intimidated, like, to meet the smartest person Michael Katz has ever met, like, whatever. And I was like, I love you. She swears. She's like very relaxed. And this is what it says on her website about her business. I built a $2.5 billion money management firm from scratch, flying my freak flag high. It had a weird name, a non-Wall Street culture, and a quirky communication style. For years, we crushed it. So this is going to be all about doing it your own way and doing it well. And she closed that business and has gone on to do other things. And one of the things she's doing is she's a financial planner and a mentor, and she helps men and women, entrepreneurs, with financial literacy and understanding, what gets in the way in terms of mindset of having the money that we want and earning what we want. And she's going to talk all about that. And she's coming from North Carolina. And strangely enough, I think it's her grandparents lived in Spartanburg. So she's very familiar, and she took it as a sign from the universe that she was going to get to go home, which is really cool, right? All right, so this is Julie Lowe. She is also a new friend of the VA Connection. I was on Facebook, and one of my friends was holding up this book, A Few Good Habits, and she said, it's time to get back to the basics. And I thought, okay, let's get back to the basics. And I bought this book, and then had the good fortune to be in the backseat of the car a whole day with Greg's son Charlie in the front seat, and I had my highlighter, and they were not talking to me, and I was so happy. I read this whole book, and lots of post-its, lots of highlights. And what she's so Julie is a certified high performance coach and a neuro coach, and she teaches ambitious men and women how to prioritize their mindset, their health, and their relationships without sacrificing the quality of her work and of their work. And this was my bold move to reach out to someone I had I have no idea. The last time I had that idea, I was going to reach out to Mel Robbins, right? Well, this time I just did it anyway. And so she is coming from Lexington, Kentucky, and the VA Connection is going to provide each one of you with a copy of her book as part of registering. So you'll get that at the conference, and that's pretty cool. All right, so any questions? We have other speakers as well. Amanda Herr is going to be with us. She is the president and CEO of Digital Desk. She's going to be coming in from Michigan. She is a VA school graduate. She is running an agency, and she is completely crushing it. And she has been handling the VA Connections Facebook ads, which bring a lot of you into our community since February. And I have to say, the quality of the people that she's been bringing in is like what my daughter would say when she was little: crazy pants. Mom, it's crazy pants. And so she's really awesome. And then Marcy Amaro is coming to us from Florida, and she is also a business coach, and she's going to talk to us about building a strong business. You probably get this overarching theme here. It's about mindset, moving forward, best practices, staying sharp, but at the core of it is living your best life as a virtual assistant. That's what it's all about, right? It's more than the client. It's all the things. And other people have approached me to speak, and I'm in the process of working through the conversations with people to curate exactly who we should have in the room. All right, so there's two options here. There's a general admission option, which is 2 days of these fabulous. Oh, Tammy, do you want to ask a question?
I don't mean to interrupt your stride, but is Michael Katz coming?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So I reached out to him. You know what I love about him? He's not afraid to say what he thinks, but in a good way. And I probably should have waited 2 or 3 weeks or a month, but he got home. He had kind of a rocky return. Like his plane was, he didn't get home till really late, all these things. And I called him to thank him and say, thank you so much for coming. It was great. We're picking the new date. What are you available on? And he said, you know what? I loved being there. I'm glad I was there. It was your first one. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. And I really hate traveling on the weekend for business. And I really don't want to do it. And I was like, okay, I respect that. I was sad, but that's what I like about him. He'll just say the hard stuff, and in a nice way. So that's not to say that he's not on the hook later, but he's not coming this time. Maybe we'll have it in Hopkinton, where he lives, and really show him, right? That would actually be kind of cool to do it up near Massachusetts, because I know a ton of really good speakers up there. So you never know. We're moving it around the country so everybody can eventually get there.
Cool.
Yeah. So, all right. So there's two options. There's what's called general admission, which is like I said, 2 days of these amazing speakers, workshops to help you really dial in the business and the lifestyle of your dreams. And you'll be able to connect with the members of the community in real life. You're going to have access to the 2024 Step Into Your Power Facebook group, which is a lot of fun. And then we'll have really beautifully catered meals for lunch and a snack on Saturday and Sunday. And we're also going to have fun giveaways and door prizes. If you opt for the VIP ticket, there are a few things that are extra. So all the same things in terms of the 2 days of speakers and workshops, connecting in real life. Facebook access, the lovely meals. I already chose the menu. That was like a whole thing for me. And then Friday night, we'll have the VIP cocktail reception and networking event with me, and Greg will be there, the speakers, and probably Emily will be there. I'm working on that. But that'll be a lot of fun. And the other thing we did last year, which was a big success, was we lined up the photographer to take headshots of all of the participants. So we set up a special place. People went in, got, 5 or 6 headshots taken, and then we provided them with the raw image, and they were able to crop them and all the things. And then we're going to have a super cool swag bag for all of there'll be goodies and giveaways for the general admission people, attendees, but we're going to have some goodies in the swag bags. All right, and this is how the pricing shows up. Early bird pricing ends tomorrow. There's so for the 2-day conference, it's $695. The 2-day conference plus VIP is $795. And you can sign up and learn more right here at the tvaclive.com. There are payment plans, 3 payment plans for each one of these. If you are part of our community, meaning you're in VIP or VA school right now, and you need some kind of longer, different, unusual payment plan, I'm happy to work with you as long as it's paid for, before the event happens. I have done that myself. There's no shame in it. It's just called being creative. So let me know, just shoot me an email if anyone needs that. VIP is capped at 30 people. We currently have 12 signed up, and I looked at who's registered, and I realized a lot of people haven't signed up that I know are coming. So don't delay if you want to participate in the VIP. I'm committed that this conference is going to sell out. We've capped the whole conference at 60. Yeah, we're going to definitely sell out. There's a guide that I haven't had a chance to look at, but it's really long, and it's this year's guide to Spartanburg. And you have I put a PDF of it in many of the groups. It's in the Facebook group, the main Facebook group. I think I put it in the VIP club and VA school, and I think it's also in the conference Facebook group. But it's very informative, and it'll give you lots of ideas of things that you can do. All right, and then I want to talk about the money for sure, because the first thing I want you to know is this is a business expense. It's deductible on your taxes, so just keep that in mind. And there are definitely ways to make it affordable. I know I attended two conferences last year that were kind of borderline in the budget, given everything else that we were trying to do. And so think about sharing with a friend. Sharing a room with a friend. I know some people had, 4 women, to a room. So think about that. And George, I know that we have 4 men in our community right now. You guys can all pile in together if you want to. The other thing that I've done is, and I'm going to do this. Well, actually, I'm driving, so I'll bring it with me. But I'm bringing a cooler, and if you can, and I'm sure there's refrigerators in the room. I go to the grocery store. I buy bananas, I buy, I'll probably bring them this time, hard-boiled eggs, because not only am I not in the mood to be in the restaurant, early enough to be in the conference at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's expensive. Breakfast it's not a big meal for me, and I just don't like spending $30 on it. It's just like a personal preference. So I'm going to bring some Diet Coke and some iced tea and some snacks, and maybe a bottle of wine or whatever it is, so that we can have at our fingertips what we need without having to be in this like travel mode, which can, it can be expensive. You go to get a Coke at McDonald's in the airport and it's $4, so just if you think ahead about that. And like I said, we have a payment plan as well. And I want you to know that you deserve to invest in yourself. You really do. And something like this will really inspire you and get you going for sure. So we have a limited number of rooms. Isn't this hotel pretty? I mean, really, seriously. A limited number of rooms that are blocked at the Marriott AC Hotel with a discounted room rate of $189, which when they told me that, Asheville was going to be like $250 a night. And I was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So this is $189 a night on Friday and Saturday. On Sunday, it's going to be $169 a night. Now, let me just tell you this because it's going to happen. If when you sign up, they're going to take a credit card as a deposit. That I don't believe they actually charge your card. That's on the enrollment page too. I can look at that. But it's going to look on your invoice that you get like you're getting billed for $189 on Sunday night. They're going to manually adjust that. There's something in their system. I don't know what it is, but I talked to them several times. So that's going to happen. Plus taxes, right? There's taxes and all that stuff. This rate is valid until October 10th or until the hotel sells out. And I know that there's a couple of weddings and a couple of events going on. So definitely don't delay in getting your room. Now there's another Marriott there that's not the AC hotel that's walking distance as well. You know, you can look for Airbnbs. I didn't look personally, but I'm sure that, you know, they are around. And I did mention the free parking and Wi-Fi. So that can make a big difference. We have a Facebook group, Splashing Down in Spartanburg, which I thought was kind of fun. And we're all ready to welcome you. And as the event gets closer, we'll pull together. I can't remember what it's called, but someone told me about an app that where we could all be in a group chat. Oh, Michelle, that was you? Yeah, what was that called?
GroupMe.
Yeah, GroupMe. So we'll do that. And as it gets closer, we'll start to post, you know, more and more in the Facebook group about the speakers and who's attending, and also fun things that you can do while you're there. Okay, good. All right, you guys, I want you to put yourself in the room with us. Okay, put yourself in the room with us. So let me know if you have any questions. Tammy, oh, and also if you have attended in the past, I'd love to hear your experience and to share it.
I just want to say what an awesome experience it was last year, and don't hesitate to share rooms with some of the people that you've met online, because it was like we'd been best friends before we even got there. And it was just the energy in the room, and it wasn't just hoopla and then you go home and it's a letdown. It infused me even more to connect me even more with the people that I had met in person even, and meeting Belinda and giving her the big hug, and having all the pictures. It's so cool to be able to look back and remember that time. So yeah, don't hesitate to hop on in and connect with some other people, because you won't regret it. You won't regret coming, I can guarantee you.
It was fun. Yeah, it was so much better than I thought. It wasn't me. It's like I was organizing it, but it was so many things. Yeah, Jenny. You're muted.
Oh, I hit lower my hand instead of unmute. So I will say that I have extreme travel anxiety, and I was super, because I had two roommates of people I've only met online. And when I got there, like it literally just fell together. There was no uncomfortableness. Like even with it was just like, oh hi. Like I've seen half of your body on Zoom and this is absolutely amazing. It was very, very weird to see Belinda in person, because it was like, you really do just kind of it's like the Brady Bunch. But was fortunate that my business paid for the trip. So like, as you're going through VA school and learning these things and getting clients, that's something to keep in mind. And when I saw my refund go up with the business expenses put in on my taxes, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I really can do these things. So I jumped on it like right when it was time to go. And I'm glad you chose Spartanburg because Asheville's an hour farther away than Spartanburg from me. So it's absolutely wonderful. But I say the same thing Tammy does, like meet up with people, talk to them online, find a roommate, find a couple roommates, the group me, whatever we did last year to get together. Like we were in the middle of downtown San Antonio, we were like, what's everybody doing? And then all of a sudden everybody would be at a restaurant or everybody would be at some other place. And it was fabulous. Like I cannot wait to go back. And I think everybody should experience it. So yeah, I could say a lot more, but I'll
You know
just ramble.
No, you're not, it's really good. So now I'm gonna lean on you guys because I'm having trouble with this, so I'll just ask you to do it. Like, how did it feel? Like, did it, like you talked about comfortable and like, how you felt about yourself changed? I mean, how I felt about myself definitely changed, but how did that land for you?
I mean, it just kind of gave you the boost, like I'm in a professional setting right now. Like it's no longer just me at home on Zoom talking to a woman I've never met and seeing all these people not knowing what's going on and like seeing them in real life. And you know it was the information that we were given, like it's in my notebook on my desk daily, like that stuff doesn't go away. It's that valuable. I use my headshot everywhere I go. And it made it real. Like I'm really in business for myself. I'm really doing this thing. Um, it it yeah, that's what I would say.
And
Yeah,
all the speakers were awesome. They were like so welcoming. It was so uplifting. I can't even explain to you. You have to experience it to understand. But yeah, it was so amazing.
thank you. All right, Angela.
Couple questions. So booking, do you do that for us, or do we call and give them a code? Or how does that work?
Once you register for the conference, you'll get an email. And it will have a link it's a special link just for us with the discount already there.
Gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha. And let's say I don't manage the payment now. What is the price after the early bird?
It goes up $100. It's
Okay.
not really that different, but
Okay,
yeah.
thanks.
$100. Yeah, my whole thing was trying to keep this affordable in reach, and to make sure we break even. That's really the thing for me. And all the speakers are volunteering. They're not being compensated in order to do that. I just said it's not in the budget this time, and maybe it will be next time. But I explained to them who you are, and a lot of them already knew. And the speakers who are new, it took like minutes for them to agree to come and pour into you. Yeah. Jane, who came from the UK and is coming again.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If anybody's thinking about like Frederica, she flew in from Amsterdam. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. I mean, we traveled thousands of miles. In fact, Michelle, who's on this call, drove me from Dallas down to San Antonio. And that's the power of being through VA school, VIP. It's that connection. And just realizing how much we all have in common, not just you, Belinda, but everything. Yeah, it's that sense of community and just being together and being able to share anything. Like I had some really powerful conversations with April when I was there. In fact, I even burst into tears at one point because she spoke about something that just really resonated. But being able to do that one-on-one with her also meant that I was able to go, okay, I can make this into a story. This is how I can do it. But I wouldn't have had the courage to do that.
Thank you, which helps with our newsletters, right? Because it's all the storytelling, all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is something else. I have to tell you, I love that woman. She's just like, I've never seen, there are very few people on the planet that are as generous as April. You know, she showed up at the conference. She's like, I'm here, whatever you need, just let me know, I'll do anything. I was like, okay. Yeah, that whole, you guys, that panel with her facilitating, I was so nervous to do it. I asked her to do it like 10 minutes before. She's like, okay. Yeah, no problem. And she's a professional at it, so she did a great job. Michelle.
I mean, same thing that Jenny and Tammy said, and Jane, it's truly life-changing. I mean, that's, to sum it up, it's life-changing, getting to meet everybody, meeting you, Belinda, and just the community. I mean, I would say that I've met some of my best friends through VA school. So highly, highly recommend it, because I'm one that is struggling with payments and stuff too. And Belinda is serious when she says that she can make it happen for us. So trust in that and believe in this community, because it's life-changing.
Thank you. Wow. All right.
Yeah, going back to what Michelle was just saying, I very nearly wasn't going to come this year because my husband needs surgery. But he said to me, you got so much out of it last year, you're going. Without hesitation. He said, you're going.
That's great. Yeah. Tammy, your hand was up. Did the same thing happen with you? Did your husband say, get that airline ticket?
Oh yeah. As soon as it came out, there was no hesitation. And even though we've struggled here and there, he saw what an impact. He's seen the impact of the whole thing. But being able to go and meet everybody, definitely. Yeah.
Well, it legitimizes it, right? I mean, I know when I went to the IVA conference, it's like, this is a real thing. This is a real profession. I've been to other conferences before, for, women in whatever, for corporate, somebody else paid for, and my boss, and it just legitimizes it, is it? And it shows you that it's a real thing. It's not just something you do in this middle bedroom, or at the dining room table. And, yeah.
And Michael, I said it in the chat, but Michael Katz, I actually I got bold and I asked him if I could add him to my newsletter list. And at first I think it took him back, but then he came and he said, sure, put me on there. And so that was just like, that to me was a big deal because he's
Yeah.
the newsletter guru. So it was cool.
Yeah, and he's just a regular guy. It's so
Yes.
funny. Yeah, yeah. If you call him, he'll answer the phone. Yeah.
I just emailed him today and I said, "Oh, I'll see you in a couple months."
Yeah, he's
So
like,
now
no,
I have
you won't. He's probably like, what is Belinda cooking up for me now? I know. Good. All right, Leslie.
Few things. One, I wanted to ask some of the people who have been, you kind of hinted at it, but I don't have clients at all. So, and Belinda knows part of my story, and my life is not currently financed by me. So how I'm torn with like financial responsibility, FOMO, and also, and not to make this a political discussion, but it's 3 days after your elections down there.
I know, someone else
So
mentioned that.
there's a lot of things where I'm just like, and then if I ended up driving, I don't, somebody else mentioned that they're not a big traveler, or like, just traveling makes me incredibly nervous. Traveling in places that I'm concerned might be unsafe depending on timing, because like you only hear the stories you hear because of where you live. So there's a whole bunch of like random weird concerns, and it sounds like it would be beneficial and also can you tell me sort of if any, Belinda or anybody, just sort of honestly, like if you were in a similar position, would this be a financially wise business decision or other to move forward with? Is it that, or is it just, wait till next year, there's going to be another?
Yeah, Tammy, go ahead.
What I would say, I had some past clients. I didn't have clients when I came last year that were working at the time. I did put it on my credit card, which scared me. But after doing that, I was ignited and it really got me moving with my business. I can't say that it's going to happen for sure. But another thing, when you said you hesitated traveling, I would encourage you. Do you know anybody that's in VA school that's maybe around the same area? Or like maybe connecting in the big group and seeing if you could travel with someone?
Yeah.
What's that?
There's a few people in Toronto, but nobody, like, I don't know that anybody's gonna be going.
Well, you could also see if you can meet them in New York, or you could meet them in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like if you're coming in from somewhere to somewhere, and maybe meet them there. I understand. I am a really nervous traveler. I used to travel all the time, but it was completely different. The lady at the gate has to take my phone and like get the thing to come up because I get all like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm just a nervous traveler. I'm afraid I'm going to be too late, or that my bag's going to be too heavy, or all the things. And I have the luxury of traveling with Greg, who he just, like he's this way, and so yeah. So you have to decide. I'm not going to push anyone, definitely, but it was really good. And you know me. I mean, you know what it's going to be like, right? So, yeah, you just have to weigh it all out. But and anytime I have done something like this, because last year, I went to a conference to speak from the stage for the first time early in the year. I can't remember when it was, like January, February, something like that. And then later in the year, I went to another conference for Jen Lehner. And then I went, or maybe that was the year before, I don't remember. But anyway, I was on planes like 3 or 4 times last year. I went to a wedding. My nephew got married. And I just will say that I settled down, and I was really proud of myself for doing that and for making it happen and to getting myself in a hotel. And then I did get myself organized. I went to the grocery store, hung my clothes up, like I made the room mine so that I could feel comfortable. And so doing that not only brought the cost down, but it also, it just made me more comfortable in the room. And in terms of the election, I have no idea. The places where crazy stuff has happened, I wouldn't have predicted it. I don't know, but I feel like we're tucked away in some charming little town, and I don't know. Yeah, we will be in a major hotel though, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. There's always going to be something. Like, who would have predicted what happened at that rally, right? Like, that wasn't, I don't, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So anybody have any questions, concerns? You're on the fence.
I think the universe is aligned with you, Belinda, and all of us. So I don't think there's any, what if it is amazing?
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't think, it's meant to be. And Leslie, I think I'm gonna go. I have to talk with my husband. He doesn't know that yet. I just got back from a month in Europe, so I'm a little apprehensive about that conversation. But I can promise you that you won't feel alone, and I would meet you in Boston or New York or anywhere. Try and I'm not that close to Toronto, so I can't meet you in Toronto, but we could meet somewhere And I'd be happy to accompany you because I'm a pretty seasoned traveler. It doesn't get me worked up. So yeah, it would be really, really great if you could go. And I think it would be, I'm looking at it as personal growth. And I think I'm getting that from a lot of people that any of the information that we need, we can find online, but not the personal growth. And I think that we need to be there in person. So that's my 2 cents. Now I just have to talk to my husband.
Yeah. Yeah, Boston is a good airport. I lived there for a long time, and Boston is a very doable airport. Even New York, if you just stay in your lane. And LaGuardia is all new, I think. Jenny.
I was just gonna say, there's still a lot of time between now and November to get clients. And so I wouldn't discourage that. I wouldn't use that as a reason. I would say, the tickets aren't refundable, but there will be people looking for tickets. That happened last year. People bought tickets and then they couldn't go, and then they very quickly got snatched up. So there's a lot of what ifs, but there's also a lot of possibility. You've got a lot of time to for things to change around for you. I don't know your personal situation, so I could be totally off, but that's kind of, I see that. I had 2 clients when I met Belinda, and then they just started coming in, and when the conference hit, like when she announced it, and it was like, oh my God. So it's but the election too is, a lot of people feel that way, and I've grown up around the DC area, and I don't know, I feel like the universe is like the same way that Angela said, like there's a lot of good karma going towards this direction. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. So
Yeah, I will not be ruminating on the election no matter what happens. We're going to be focusing on this. Yeah. So I figured out at $50 an hour, this is how many hours you have to bill to pay for the VIP ticket between now and then. Right?
Okay, I think I've kind of mentally sort of decided that the early bird's just not happening because it's tomorrow. But something like September, October, I'll be able to make a realistic decision. So that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. So here's what I do in a situation like that. When I, and this is for all of you, when I decided we were moving into our house, April 2024, which was completely unreasonable. My husband was not even on the page. I just decided that's what we were doing. So just decide my business is going to fully fund this ticket, and pick a date by when, and then all your actions should line up to that. And then you'll be there. Right? Bet on yourself. If you're going to bet on anything, bet on yourself. Yeah, you're muted if you're talking, Leslie. I can't hear you.
That okay? It's going on a post-it. We'll see.
Yep. Yeah. It's good. Something's happening outside. I'm not sure what it is. We'll find out. It involves my husband, potentially a fox, and I'm not sure what else. All right. If any of you want to have a private conversation with me, I'm happy to do that. You have my cell phone number. I'll put it in but don't call me because I really won't answer, but I will text you back right away as soon as I can. Okay.
So the sign up is on Facebook, or I haven't even looked that far yet.
Oh
Is it
yeah,
in
so
an
this is the
email?
part of me that's like selling. Am I selling? Hold on, I always do that, right? So it's hold on, I'll give you it's tvaclive.com. This URL will also work. All the information is, let me just show this to you really quick. We have extra minute. Okay. And I said I would do that anyway. Okay. So here we go. So this is the page to sign up. Early bird ends tonight. These are the dates. This is my talented graphics guy. I'm not 100% sure Kyle's coming. I need to check with April. He is amazing. He is amazing. But everyone else is coming. Plus there are more people than I have I don't have their pictures yet. This goes over the VIP and what's involved. And then these are testimonials. So these are some of our community members that attended last year and what they said about it. So Lana, Amy, Dana, Jennifer Grant, Carrie, Jen Cohen, Tammy, Michelle, and Kate. This is the agenda. This is just me sketching it out. Probably starting next week, I'll be getting deeper into this with the speakers and fleshing it out. I've had a 30 to 40-minute conversation with each one of them, just kind of getting ideas about how this is all going to come together. But this is 5 to 7 is the kickoff celebration. And that'll be cocktails, beverages, hors d'oeuvres in a special private room. This is information about Spartanburg. Here's a guide, 13 best things to do. And these pictures came from the Spartanburg business development director. She and I are in conversation and they're really going to roll the red carpet out for us, which is nice. Here's the FAQs. So this talks about the conference. Are there rooms on site? When will the prices go up? Not sure if I updated this because I extended, I did. I extended the early bird for a week because I hadn't had enough time to pull this together. And I wanted to make sure everybody felt comfortable. And then, so it ends in 1 day and 1 hour and 55 minutes. And this is us last year. And then there's just another testimonial. So when you click here, well, let's see, if you decide to go to the VIP experience, there are 18 seats left. And like I said, last year I was scared. I was scared it was a big financial commitment. And this year I'm not scared and we're selling it out. We're just doing it. That's, a few people have asked me, are you sure you're doing it? And I'm like, oh yeah. And we're going to reach out to the bigger community and make it happen. All right. Epic, Jane says. I love that. Good. Yeah, Michelle put her cell phone number there too. Yeah, and just know that it will all come together. You'll figure out who's going to pick you up at the airport and how you can do this without a car. And like Michelle was driving, she was in Dallas, she was driving into San Antonio. She picked up Jane, who came from the UK. Like it all works out, so that's good. All right, any last oh, it is 2 o'clock. Any last questions? All right, thank you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all and I appreciate you considering it. And I would love to see you live in Spartanburg. Okay, good. All right, reach out if you have any other questions. All right, bye guys.
Thanks, Belinda.